Today is May 8th, 2020. Earlier, we got news that bodybuilder Luke Sandoe has passed away at the age of 30. Scanning the news, we are unable to find a cause of death. There's no real information about any underlying health conditions. Apparently, he just died one day. And this man, obviously quite healthy, although how he attained this body, might not be the most healthy. In this video, we're going to discuss whether or not this man was murdered by the numbers. Think about the Police song from 1984 called Murder by Numbers, saying it's as simple as your ABCs and 1, 2, 3. On this channel, I talk about the language of Gematria, which combines numbers and letters, giving insight to a whole new language that we're not taught in school, one that is only taught in secret societies. We're going to talk about how this man's death is related to the death of Dallas McCarver and also another bodybuilder named Rich Piana. Both of these men dying in the year 2017 in the same week. They both died in the fourth week in August. And August of 2017 was the month of the 2017 Great American Total Solar Eclipse. So in this video, we're going to discuss not just the numerology of the date Luke Sandoe died, but also how it relates to this eclipse crucifixion code. Down in the description below, you'll find a link to my presentation on this eclipse crucifixion code. Just yesterday, I did a video on the death of a rapper named King Shooter. And it's rappers who most frequently die by this code, but any celebrity death is likely related, so let's dive into this. We're going to start with the gematria of Luke Sandoe, and there's a few interesting things about this man's basic gematria. We start with the alphabetic order called English Ordinal, the most basic cipher, simply numbering the alphabet 1 through 26. In this method, we get a value of 107. The phrase ritual sacrifice sums to 107 in the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. Luke Sandoe also equals 55 in reverse reduction. With the S exception, sacrifice sums to 55. He died on the date May 7th, which is written either 5-7 or internationally as 7-5, and his name equals 575 in English Extended Gematria. This cipher uses the standard 26-letter alphabet, but structures the cipher in accordance with ancient Hebrew Gematria and Greek isopsephy charts. We're also going to look at the reverse alphabetic order. In this method, his name sums to a value of 163. 163 is a prime number, only divisible by 1 and itself. As we see here on the properties page, this is the 38th prime number. And 38 is a significant number we find coded into death. The word death equals 38, so does the word killing. The word murder, also 38. Luke Sandoe was born on the 3rd of August, the date written 8/3. His date of birth had a life lesson number of 38, 8 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9. Notice also how he was born in the year 89. Bodybuilder Luke Sandoe equals 89. I must have missed a letter. There we go. Bodybuilder Luke Sandoe, 89 in reduction. And in English Extended, this is the value of kill, 89. As this video goes on, we'll also talk about how this death is related to the IFBB, the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness. Notice how this establishment has 89 Gematria in reverse. Today's news was published on May 8th, written 5/8. Also worth pointing out that Sandow equals 58, and in English Extended, his name equals 220. Think about how we're currently in the year 2020, the year of the coronavirus pandemic, 220 in ordinal. Now, all the way back in 2017, I made a video on the death of bodybuilder Dallas McCarver. Now, I didn't have a blog at the time, and my YouTube channel, my first one, was deleted, so that video is no longer available. I didn't re-upload it. But we're going to take a glance at this numerology of his death as well. Now, the interesting thing about Dallas McCarver is that this man died on August 22nd of 2017. In my video, I discussed how this was a sacrifice for the total solar eclipse that crossed over the United States the previous day. McCarver's nickname was Big Country. Notice how this has values of 134 and 53. These are the same as solar eclipse, 134 and 53. This is also the value of Vesica Piscis. This is the shape that is made by two intersecting circles. And think about how this relates to an eclipse. In fact, the word circles sums to 69, 33, and 120. So does the word eclipse. Notice how the name McCarver sums to 83 and 38. Luke Sandoe, born on 8/3 or 3/8 on a date with 38 numerology. Also notice how McCarver sums to 52 in reverse reduction. The date that Luke Sandoe died had primary numerology of 52. 52, another number commonly coded into death, which equals 52 in multiple ciphers. But here's where this gets very interesting. Using the standard alphabetic order, bodybuilder Luke Sandoe has a value of 224. Now, in 2017, we had the first Great American Eclipse. There will be a second Greater American Eclipse. It'll be about 2 minutes longer, that occurs in the year 2024. Now, if you measure from the death of Luke Sandoe to the 2024 total solar eclipse over the United States, we find he died a span of exactly 1,433 days before that eclipse. 1433. This number sticks out to me immediately. Eclipse crucifixion code, which this whole thing is based around, sums to 1433. Furthermore, 1433 is a prime number. See how it's the 227th prime number? This same phrase equals 227 in the alphabetic order. Trust me when I say this is not common at all for a prime number relationship in these ciphers. And 227 is a number that really brings this whole thing together. In Hebrew, the value for total eclipse even equals 227. Now, 22 divided by 7 on a calculator is the smallest equation to get the first 3 digits of pi, 3.14. This also works in Gematria. 22 divided by 7 equals 314. So as I mentioned, Luke Sandoe was born on the date August 3rd, which means if we measure to his next birthday, we find that he died 2 months and 27 days before his birthday, lining up with eclipse crucifixion code. Also worth pointing out, this is a span of 89 days. I pointed out how this man was born in the year 89, just like his Gematria. But there's something interesting about these two men. Dallas and Luke. Now, granted, there have been other notable bodybuilder deaths, but none that have reached the headlines quite as often as these recent ones. Notice how the name Dallas equals 49. The name Luke also equals 49. Now, the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness was founded in 1946. However, it wasn't until 1970 that they became an international organization. And notice how it was the date September 4th, or the date written 4/9. And when we talk about 94, the phrase ritual human sacrifice equals 94. So the names Luke and Dallas both yielding a 49 in the alphabetic order. From 1970 to early 2020 is 49 years. So this will make a little more sense in a second. Now notice how Dallas McCarver was even born on the date 4/9, April 9th. Now what's so interesting about April 9th is that it's the 99th day of the year. And remember, he died just one day after the first total solar eclipse to go coast to coast over the United States in 99 years. The last one before it was 1918. By the way, 1918, the same year as the Spanish flu pandemic. Here we are with another total solar eclipse and now another pandemic. Again, because these things are staged. Notice how the United States of America gives us 99 Gematria in the full reduction cipher. The second Great American Eclipse in 2024 will occur on the 99th day of a leap year. That would be April 8th. And you know what I just realized is that Dallas McCarver, having been born in 1991, would have been a span of exactly 33 years old on the date of that eclipse. And notice how the word eclipse equals 33 in reduction. Now, if you measure from the 2017 Great American Eclipse to the death of Luke Sandoe, look how many days it is. Exactly 990 days from the first eclipse to the death of Luke Sandoe. With the end date included, he also died 990 days after Dallas McCarver. Now, 99, this is a significant number to the moon. Notice how the moon equals 99 in reverse. Now, a significant number for the moon is 13. The word moon begins with the 13th letter. It ends with the 13th letter in reverse. And every couple of years, the moon completes 13 lunar phases. Well, notice how 13 is the only number in the alphabetic order that sums to 99. The name Dallas equals 13 in reduction, also 113, and 41, which is the 13th prime number. The name Luke also sums to 13 in reduction. And now we're told that Luke has died on the date May 7th, written 5/7. The word moon has gematria of 57. Remember, the moon's range varies 57 degrees through the sky. So I mentioned the 99. In reverse gematria, 13 equals 117. And this stood out to me as well. Notice how bodybuilder equals 117 in ordinal. Here we're talking about a ritual involving Luke and Dallas, which sums to 117. Professional bodybuilder, also giving us a 130 in reverse, just for a little icing on the cake. But whenever we're talking about the number 13, we're talking about another prime number. See how 13 is the 6th prime number. Well, the name Dallas in Jewish Gematria, Dallas equals 136. And measuring from his April 9th birthday to his August 22nd death was a span of exactly 136 days. Earlier, I mentioned his nickname, Big Country. Notice how this also sums to 136. Also sharing the 55 like sacrifice with Luke Sandoe. Now, just 3 days after the mysterious death of Dallas McCarver, I think they said he choked on some food, we had the death of Rich Piana. Notice August 25th, just 3 days later. And this man ties into this riddle as well. If we measure from August 25th to the death of Luke Sandoe, we get a span of 987 days. The date on which the news broke, 987 exactly. We'll check out bodybuilder Rich Piana. In Jewish Gematria, we get a 987. This Jewish or Latin cipher, as it's also called, seen on the right side of your screen, using the Latin alphabetic order with more modern English characters placed at the end. Now, the number 987, intriguingly enough, this is a Fibonacci number, the 16th Fibonacci. Notice how Luke Sandoe died on a date with a life lesson number of 16. And there was no doubt a riddle built into the death of Rich Piana. First of all, notice how Piana equals 41. Remember, this is the 13th prime number. He was born in 1970, which is the same year that the International Federation of Bodybuilding went global. Now again, they were established in 1946, but there's no specific date given. They didn't really start holding events until the very late 60s, and then September 4th, 1970, this is the big date for them. They held its first international congress, adopted a constitution, you know. So that same month that the IFBB was established, Rich Piana was born. He was born 23 days. Oh, look at that. A span of 23 days after the founding, and Piana equals 23. Well, notice how Piana also equals 94. Just like the date, September 4th that I was talking about, 9/4, ritual human sacrifice. Now, Piana, when he died, he was 46 years old. The IFBB originally founded in the year 1946. When it was founded, it was called the International Federation of Bodybuilders, which sums to 406. The word sacrifice, summing to 46 in reduction. Also worth pointing out that bodybuild equals 94. Another thing worth pointing out about Rich Piana's death is that he was an exact number of months old. So with the end date, notice he was exactly 563 months old. Well, this is the 103rd prime number. He was also 10 months and 30 days after his birthday. So the number 13 also coded into his death. Remember, human sacrifice equals 13. So I mentioned how Dallas McCarver, the first in this line of deaths, would have turned 33 years old the day after the 2024 Great American Total Solar Eclipse. And again, eclipse equals 33. Now, 33 is a number of ritual human sacrifice. Notice the 895 value in Jewish. This code is biblical. It comes from the New Testament. Judas, who betrayed Jesus, equals 895. Even Jesus equals 985. Well, notice how Dallas McCarver was born on a date with a life lesson number of 33. And then when McCarver died, he was exactly 33 weeks before his birthday. Now we get the death of Luke Sandoe, and his death falling on a date with numerology of 33. Actually, the date it hit the news. And this riddle even extends further. You know, we talk about the number 165 occasionally. Remember, it's the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry that this code is used by. Scottish Rite equals 165, and then Freemasonry equals 165 with the capital letters. Well, if you think about 165, 16.5 times 2 is 33. Now, on the date Luke Sandoe died, having been born on 8/3 of 89, notice how he was exactly 1,605 weeks old, like 16.5. Furthermore, measuring to the death of Dallas McCarver, we also get a span of 2 years and 260 days. The number 226 is heavily connected to the number 33. And the reason through this is just in basic gematria. The two numbers that 33 sums to in ordinal both have ordinal gematria of 226. Remember, the World Trade Center, which stood for 33 years, had a bombing just a few years before the 9/11 attacks that occurred on 226. And of course, you write out 226, it sums to 93. That bombing was in the year 93. So gematria really brings all of these riddles together, no doubt about it. Also worth pointing out that Dallas McCarver dying on a date with 47 numerology, and now Luke Sandoe, news of his death breaking exactly 47 months before the 2024 total solar eclipse. And the phrase total eclipse equals 47. So does killing with the K exception. Also, that date that Dallas McCarver died, notice how this had primary numerology of 67, reduced numerology of 22. Total solar eclipse equals 67 and 202. It's the total solar eclipses that this blood sacrifice or human sacrifice code is built around. Both of those phrases, also 67. So yeah, in my eyes, in my opinion, these are the types of cases where we're almost certainly looking at sacrifices. How they're being carried out, I wish I could tell you, but I don't know. All I can do is share the numbers and let you know that something really strange is happening. All right, guys. Peace, love, God bless. Thanks for tuning in. We'll check you out next time. See ya.